Adam, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, Adam Brock. I've lived here in Houston for 9 years. Lived at this house here for 7.
Oh, wow. Adam, tell me, what was your energy situation before you found VPP Texas?
So we were paying 14.9 cents a kilowatt hour. That includes the CenterPoint fees. It's a 3-year contract, and I used Texas Power Guide every time a contract expired to find a new provider.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So Texas Power Guide, so that's similar to like Energy Ogre? Or
Yeah, so except you do it yourself. It's an Excel spreadsheet you download,
Okay.
and then you put your usage in there. It does all the calculations for you.
Oh, wow. And you guys had been with them for quite a while, right?
Yeah, I've used it probably 5 years.
Okay. Tell me about y'all's situation in terms of power outages. What was y'all's experience with power outages in this area?
Power outages weren't too bad, but we had a fair amount of brownouts, I think 2 summers ago. And then during the winter storm, we had blackouts roughly every 12 hours. That would last 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then I think the first day we were down, or the first outage was 36 hours. But we have a gas heater and fireplaces, so we were okay with that.
Yeah. And so you were with this previous company that was doing your electricity. And then how did you stumble across VPP Texas?
Facebook ad.
Oh, wow.
I saw it and I was like, wow, that's a different direction to go. Because I hadn't heard of power banks or wasn't familiar with that, or the power wall from Tesla. And so then started looking into it, had done a lot of research on solar, but didn't think we would get the money back based on how much coverage we get here. So I had not looked too hard into doing my own solar or buying solar panels and then selling my own power back to the grid.
Tell me about, you met with Jacob over Zoom. If you can talk more about the offer that you got from VPP Texas and what about it made you realize that this was a company you wanted to go with?
Yeah, so several things. The no upfront costs, that I don't own or have to maintain any of the equipment, that VPP Texas does that. The locked-in rates and increases, I know what I'm going to be paying for the next 25 years, which, the market's so unpredictable. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing was peace of mind, that when a storm comes through, as long as our garage is still standing or our roof's up there, we've got power.
Yeah, and I like how you talked about the 25 years and how that gives you peace of mind. Some people, whenever they hear about a 25-year contract, they see that as a negative. What is your thought process on seeing that as a positive? I know you talked about the unpredictability of the market, but could you elaborate a little bit more about that?
I mean, really, it was just the locked-in rate. I put it into a spreadsheet with the 3% increase each year. I looked at how rates had changed in Texas over the years. They've never gone down. There's also no control over the delivery fees. Those can, CenterPoint or whoever the delivery company is, can raise those rates at any time, as far as I understand it.
Yeah.
And then just being able to operate independently during a storm.
Yeah.
Especially Houston has so many overhead power lines.
Before finding VPP Texas, I know you saw us on an ad. What other companies had you previously looked into? I know you briefly talked about solar.
I hadn't really looked at any virtual power plant companies. It was the first time I had heard of the concept. But I had looked into options for generators. Our alleys are too narrow to have a permanent one. And then so looking at options for portable generators, and then pretty much have to put it out in the street because it's going to be way too noisy in the backyard. And I've got to worry about getting natural gas connected to it, running the cables to the panel, And then I travel a lot for work, and I want something that my wife can feel comfortable switching over, which with VPP, there's nothing has to be done, right? But I know she wouldn't want to pull the generator out in the street, pull 4-gauge wire out there, and hook up a natural gas line.
That's such a good point.
And I think the other thing is once you lose power, you never know when it's coming back. They put the estimates on the website, but it could come back in 20 minutes, or it could be 4 times as long as what the website says. And so then you're like, well, do I want to spend 30 minutes hauling this thing outside in the rain and wiring it all up, and then 10 minutes later the power comes back?
That's very true.
Yeah.
So just from your perspective, this would be a lot more convenient.
Yeah, or like not having to pack up and go to a hotel.
What are you most excited for?
Well, so I was really impressed with what Sonnen offered, and there, as I understand it, it's an AI solution that looks at patterns for outages related to weather, and that adjusts how much electricity it retains to use for backup versus what's going back out onto the grid. So as conditions get more likely that we could lose power, more power is held in reserve for us to use rather than be sold back to the grid. I thought it was a very intelligent system. I like that you guys were motivated to maintain it because it's how you make money. And then we're motivated because we want power all the time. And so really it's a win-win.
If there were any other neighbors around here that were thinking about looking into something like this, what highlights would you go over with them about this program?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me, I was very impressed with how involved I got to be in the planning and design and saying what elements I wanted on backup, what I didn't. And Jacob was great to work with, and he was kind of the go-between between me and the solar installer, getting all of that spec'd out. I felt very comfortable, and like I could put as much stuff on backup as I wanted, but it was up to me to do the load shedding when the time came. And I like having that element of control rather than being told, absolutely not, you can't have these certain items on backup. Overall, very pleased with the process. It's nice to know that you're helping the environment too, and I think everybody comes out ahead with this. It's the way to go, for sure.
Congratulations on the system. And
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate
everything. You bet.